Minecraft Hardcore Season 2. Let's go. A brand new world. Let's destroy it. First, let's chop down this tree. Craft some wooden tools, then get stone for stone tools. Now I have everything I need to dominate this world. But first, I need to chop down this tree. Use it to make a boat, then travel down this river. So to quickly start in this world, I have a 5-step master plan. First, I need to find a village, then I need to capture all the villagers. Then I need to breed them. After that's done, I can set up a trading hall, and then finally get endgame gear. First, let's focus on a village, which fortunately there's one right here. To start, I'm going to steal all their beds and workstations. While I'm at it, I'm taking these hay bales which I can turn into lots of food. I'm also going to raid the blacksmith, getting me my first iron, since I won't be mining any. Now I can safely call this village mine. I'll use this house to store all my stuff for now. Now, let's capture all the villagers. I'll do that using boats. Fortunately, a bunch have gathered around the town bell, making them super easy to capture. With the first 2 steps of the plan being completed, I need to stop for a moment. Before I can continue, I need lots of crops which can be found in other villages, so I empty my inventory and set off for the horizon. Partway through my journey, the first day in this world came to an end, so it was time for bed. In the morning, I climbed a nearby hill and raided the village up there, ending up with lots of extra food. But if I wanted to start this world off properly, I'd need to raid a lot more villages. So I returned home, emptied my inventory, and then set off once again in search of villages. In each one, I stole all the workstations, food, and raided all the chests, ending up with a full inventory of items, meaning it's time to return home. With that village pillaging session completed, I can empty my inventory, and from the looks of it, I have plenty of food to keep me going for a long time. Before I start working with villagers, I'm making a quick 1000-block trip to an abandoned village for string. On the way, I discovered a pillager outpost which I'm staying a safe distance from. Don't exactly want to die now, do I? Arriving in this village, I harvested the cobwebs for string and helped myself to the loot in the blacksmith. Then I made my way back home. After I arrived home, I was greeted by a wandering trader. All his trades were bad, so I had to, well, you know. I totally didn't do this to get access to the leads. No, that would be a terrible thing. So if I wanted to be ready to fight the Ender Dragon later on, I'll need villagers. I can get a lot more by breeding them. If a set of villagers has enough food and more than 2 beds, they'll start to breed. If we combine this mechanic with a villager crop farm, we can build an automatic villager breeder. Fortunately, I designed one recently based on a design of mine from almost 5 years ago. Check out the tutorial later on. I'm going to build this breeder at the centre of town, meaning I need to remove the villagers' safety cages. I'll then use the leads to move them out of the way, almost killing them in the process. Anyways, now I'm going to remove all these blocks and I'll start preparing the area. This farmer marks the edges of the breeder. Now all I need is some walls, a roof, and finally some beds. Then I need to dig out a small collection area for the babies. Once they grow up, I can take them out of here and use them for whatever I need. With the structure completed, I can release the villagers from the boat they've been stuck in, let them become farmers, then I'll place all these carrots. Now the villager breeder is online. Before I go any further, I'm going to mine up some copper for use in a lightning rod. Don't want my villagers dying on me. I'm also collecting coal so that I can stop using my small wood supply for fuel. With the lightning rod now in place, the villagers should be safe. While awaiting them breeding, I'm going to start preparing this area for trading. Since I need a bunch of space, I'll remove this house. I'll also level this entire area, making it flat. Now before I do anything else, I'll need more villagers. So I'm going to lock myself in this house and I'll wait a few hours. When I returned, the collection area was full of villagers. Now I can start having fun. So, villager trading can be a bit complex, so let me explain it. Villagers can be given items in exchange for emeralds. These emeralds can then be used with different villagers to buy things. If I take, say, a fisherman villager and give him 20 string, he'll then give me an emerald. I can then use that to trade for enchanted books or diamond gear. To do this in the world, I'm going to clear more space next to the breeder. I'm also going to make a quick journey to a nearby village to get some books to kickstart my librarian trading, and to look for iron. This whole not mining iron thing is slowing me down. Using the iron I found, I'm going to build a string farm like this which I'll later use to get lots of emeralds. I ended up moving it over here and giving it a collection system. While this thing runs, I'm going to make a quick trading hall out of dirt. These cells will hold the villagers. Then I'll move these villagers I saved from earlier into the holding cells, giving them the fisherman job. Now I need to do that 6 more times, giving me enough villagers to start getting lots of emeralds. Now all I need to do is trade 4 double chests of string with these guys, and after a while I ended up with all of these emeralds. This also works great as a source of experience. Now I'm going to set up another dark trading hall, filling it with weaponsmiths, toolsmiths and armourers, which each trade emeralds for diamond gear. To do that, I get a villager from the breeder, move it into the trading hall, then I'll trade with it until I unlock the diamond gear. I then did this with the other villagers, getting me full diamond gear and tools. After doing that, I quickly leveled up a bunch of clerics to give me redstone, ender pearls and bottles of experience. This is just me planning ahead a bit. Now that all those villagers are done, I'll quickly set up the final trading hall. This will be used to get enchanted books from librarians. So to make the book trading a bit easier, I'm going out into the world looking for sugarcane, which I'll use to build a small farm next to the trading area. I'll later use the paper from this for firework rockets. Right as I finished, another wandering trader appeared and had this spruce sapling trade. This would save me a long trip to find them later on. So I planted them, then harvested all the wood. Now it's time to get the enchanted books. I got a villager out of the breeder, moved him into the trading hall, then unlocked my first enchanted book. I'll track all the books I have using a spreadsheet. Then, 500 broken lecterns later, the trading hall is full with a wide variety of enchanted books. Before I can add these enchantments to my tools, I need an anvil which requires lots of iron that I don't currently have. Fortunately, we can build a farm for it. If we have a group of villagers with beds that are being scared by a zombie, an iron golem can spawn. We can use that mechanic to farm them. For this, I've selected this iron farm by Insanity 21 that makes 300 iron per hour. Let's build it. For this, all I need is a wall, some beds, then I need 3 villagers. Here's 1, 2 and 3. I'll then spawn proof the area, and finally I'll lure a zombie in here bringing the farm online. After standing around for a while, I had a lot of iron ingots, so I crafted an anvil and started adding enchantments to my gear. About an hour later I had fully enchanted diamond gear, meaning I can take on any challenge. So I climbed a nearby hill and jumped off it, taking little damage. So at this point I'd say I'm ready to go into the nether, wouldn't you? So I'm going to gather some obsidian, build a portal, then I'll finally go through. Unfortunately, my portal is in a basalt delta. Guess I'll have to deal with this for now. To get to the open nether, I'll dig a tunnel which eventually led to a bastion remnant. While I bridged towards it, a ghast appeared, so I quickly killed it, then finished building the bridge. As I entered the bastion, I looted the chest, giving me my first ancient debris. I then killed some piglins and raided what was left of the bastion, giving me some gold carrots. I then went searching for a nether fortress. When I found it, I went looking for a blaze spawner, killed a bunch of them since I was here, then killed some wither skeletons for skulls. This will save me from doing it later. At this point I might as well get full netherite gear, which means I need a smithing template. So I found another bastion, and after going through the entire thing, I found one. One won't be enough, but we can make more using this recipe, which requires lots of diamonds. So I raided some buried treasure chests and went mining, getting all the diamonds I needed. Now let's get ancient debris. So I brewed up some fire resistance potions, returned to the nether, then threw myself into the lava ocean. I thought mining the debris from the ocean floor would be quick, but it was really slow. So I dug a massive mine shaft instead. Then all I had to do was smelt it, craft the scraps into netherite ingots, then apply them to my gear. At this point, I think I'm ready to fight the Ender Dragon. So I went out into the world looking for a stronghold. I eventually found one, so I dug down into the portal room, ignited it, then jumped into the end. I quickly bridged over to the end island, shot out all the crystals, then from a distance shot the Ender Dragon until it was defeated. When it died, it dropped lots of experience, an elytra and a dragon egg. This happened because I used the Dragon Drops data pack, which can be found on Vanilla Tweaks. I then used the end gateway to locate an end city, where I killed all the shulkers for shells. I've left 2 alive for now so that I can build a shulker farm later on. With that first journey into the end being complete, I can return home. Now that I have an elytra, I need a lot of firework rockets. Right now I have got plenty of paper, but no gunpowder. If you want to build an early game gunpowder farm, all you need to do is force only creepers to spawn. You can do that by having a 2-block tall area with a trapdoor on the roof like this. Repeat this over and over and you'll end up with a creeper farm design like this one by Nemborn. For this farm, I'm using blocks that are cheap and easy to remove. This is because I'll be replacing this farm later on. With the resource gathering done, let's build this farm. I decided to build it right above my iron farm, that way it keeps it loaded, meaning that when I AFK for gunpowder I also get iron. After finishing this farm, I went AFK for 1 hour, then used all of the gunpowder to craft a shulker of flight duration 3 firework rockets. Now I can travel around the world a lot faster. Now that I can fly a lot easier, I want to focus on connecting my world using nether portals. So I went to the end and collected some obsidian. For now, I'm going to place my portals on the nether roof. To get up there, I need to find the highest piece of bedrock, build a ladder, then glitch through it using an ender pearl, like so. I can then build my portal up here and use it like normal. The only issue is that if I go back through to the nether, it connects beneath the roof. So I break the old portal, then glitch through the roof once again. Now I'm going to place portals for my end portal and spawn. Now I can travel between these places a lot quicker. With that done, I'd like to focus on filling an entire shulker box with elytras. Since I use a data pack that allows them to drop from dragons, I think I'll kill a bunch of them. Meaning I need end crystals. I'll summon 19 dragons. That way I generate all the end gateways, meaning I need a lot of gas tiers. I'll need 76 for this. Since gas spawn a lot more in Soul Sand Valleys, I'll build a platform on the nether roof, then I'll wait for them to spawn. I'll then shoot them from up here, killing them in the process. This is a lot faster than flying around looking for them. I also need a bunch of blaze rods which I now can't get because I'm above the nether roof. So I'll use this redstone dust spamming circuit which lags the game, allowing me to place this piston which breaks bedrock when the game catches up. I then spent 20 minutes doing this until I had a 3x3 hole down to the lower nether. After flying down there, I killed a bunch of blazes which should give me everything I need to craft end crystals. After repairing my gear and getting some last minute items, let's go back to the end. I'll place all 4 crystals down which begins the dragon summoning ritual. Once the end crystals are generated, the dragon spawns. Guess it's time to kill it 19 times. Once that was done, I went into the outer end to get the last 8 elytras I need. During all of that, I nearly ran out of food. I think it's time to finally fix that. Did you know that hoglins in the nether drop pork chops when killed? This means if I use lava I can build a super fast cooked pork chop farm. I've picked this design by KLPMC which makes 3,500 items per hour. Let's build it. Since this farm is small, I already had everything needed for it, so I located a warped forest biome on the nether roof, then started building the farm. Typically, I use golden carrots as my food source, but for this world I wanted a bit of a change, and to be honest, I wanted to try out a farm like this. After finishing the farm, I went AFK for 1 hour, and in that time, it made enough pork chops for me to fill an entire shulker box. This should last me for a long time. Right now, I realise that I've made an insane amount of progress without a proper starter house. So, I've used this area here for it. I want this build to be made out of cheap materials, which is why this shulker contains a lot of wood. Let's get this starter house built. For this, I'm keeping it simple. All I'm doing is building a large box with an awning coming out the side for the front door. Then I'll detail it a bit, and finally I'll add a roof. Before you say anything, I'm not a builder, I'm a redstoner, so I hope this build looks good enough for you. In my opinion, this house looks pretty good. I'm happy I made it sit on a stone foundation. Inside we have a kitchen area, a section for the dragon egg, some storage, then in the loft space, some extra storage and my bed. For this build, there's one final thing I'd like to add before calling it complete. A beacon. So, I'll take the wither skulls I got earlier and I'll go into the end. Beneath the central end portal, I've got a wither killing set up. So, I'll summon one, then kill it. With that done, I can craft a beacon and add it to the build, finishing this first episode.